It's the first week of the month. That means it's my turn to choose a movie. And I choose this one. That looks kind of romancy. Yeah, it is. It's about a girl who falls in love with a boy next door, but she can't leave the house. Ugh, so romantic. Uh-huh. You know I'm gonna roast it if at any point it gets really stupid, right? I don't know why I watched this movie and read the book, but I did, more so because I'm kind of in a movie adaptation / book reading phase, so I've gathered a lot of thought clouds about it. The movie starts out by telling us that Maddy's father and brother died when she was very young. Maddy was diagnosed with SCID, which means she's super susceptible to all those bacteria and things that can kill her if she goes outside. So she stays indoors with her mom and nurse in this fancy-ass $1 million LA mansion of a home. Not sure how her mom could afford that with a nurse just on her one salary alone, but I guess that'll be put into the unsolved file for now. They get new neighbors, one of which is hot guy Olly. He's a skateboarder, parkour type guy. FYI, this is supposed to be super hot, but it's really cringy when you read about his parkour skills in the book, in my opinion. Apparently this greasy-haired version of Nick Robinson is considered hot. I know that's really mean, but if you got a haircut, I wouldn't be so mean, I promise. Anyway, he's like, ooh, who's that hottie next door? But Maddy's mom's like, yeah, get away from us. But then Maddy's like, oh, he's so pretty, he wears black, he has a skateboard. He writes his phone number on the window and they start their texty relationship. They start to connect through a series of text messages and emails, which is also where the bulk of their relationship develops. But this is also much more dynamic to read in the book, less fun in the movie. In the movie, they had to depict them in a text room where they could just talk and just put filters upon filters upon filters, so you know that this scene is not real life. It kind of takes away the feeling of messaging back and forth, but I guess they didn't want to spend like 90% of the movie with text bubbles on the screen. She tries to get her nurse to help arrange for Olly to come over. At first, Nurse Jackie's like, no. But then she's like, okay, fine, but no touch.
No touchy.
Olly and Maddy meet once again during the July 4th fireworks and smooch. Then smooch some more. Then smooch some more. Maddy's like, oh my god, I love him. But then Olly's dad becomes an ad for domestic violence. Maddy's like, oh my god, I need to save my boyfriend, even though running out there won't really do anything. So she runs out. Then her mom goes like, what the hell? When did this happen? She fires the nurse. Then Maddy's like, OMG mom, you're too much. She books tickets to Hawaii because apparently Santa Monica and Malibu beaches aren't good enough for her, where it would still be easy to get a hospital within state. And if it's your first time outside the house, even things right outside should be magical. But no, she has the imaginary money for it, so she and Olly can go and experience
everything.
So the guy's obviously like, ooh, free ticket to Hawaii? I'm down. Mushy stuff, gushy stuff, more gushy stuff, and this awkward scene somehow exists.
It's small.
But as expected, she gets sick or faints or something that takes her to the ER, and mom is like, see what happens when you don't listen to me? Olly is cut from the comms, and he tries to tell her that he's helping his family escape his dad and must leave in the middle of the night. And in all the twists of the twisty twists of the world, Maddy gets a phone call from the hospital. Surprise, surprise, she never had the disease that's been keeping her indoors this entire time. What? You don't have SCID. What is it? Hospital says I don't have SCID. Have you been lying to me for the last 18 or whatever years? Yeah. What? Apparently, after Maddy's father and brother died, some wires broke inside her mom's head, and she thought the best thing to do was use Maddy's fever at the time to feed into the lie that she had SCID. That way, Maddy could stay at home, indoors, with her forever.
Have I ever been sick? Come inside, Maddy.
This woman needs professional help. She basically robbed her daughter of her entire childhood. And what's just as bad, if not even worse, is that she compromised her immune system possibly for the rest of her life. So bravo! You definitely get a spot in the Worst Mother Hall of Fame. Maddy gets mad. But instead of working out these issues with her mom or letting us find out how her mom is getting help, she kind of just jets off to experience life, i.e. hot guy Olly. The reason why this movie is so is not because of the subpar romancy moments, but because it's one of those movies you can feel like it's trying to copy the success formula of The Fault in Our Stars. The sick girl and the hot guy romantic movie needs to go for a multitude of reasons. 1. Diseases are never pretty, and the reality of them is insanely harsh. The Fault in Our Stars and 50-50 did this pretty well with their hard-to-watch hospital scenes, but most movies since then are just using the disease as a source of conflict for romance. That's a hard pass for me. 2. Did you notice that all the diseases they choose to shine a light on are still diseases that allow for super pretty people to be cast? It's such a Hollywood thing. So it doesn't look like we'll be seeing anyone with skin discoloration or anything of the sort anytime soon. 3. This trope plays into the fantasy that there's a hot guy willing to wait around and be there for the sick girl at all times of the day. It's horrible that I've actually seen people on Tumblr and Twitter wishing to be sick so they can have their own Ansel Elgort tending by their bedside. But stepping away from the trope that the movie is built around, the twist is probably, in my opinion, one of the worst twists and resolutions the story could have ever had. When I was reading the book, I was kind of thinking, alright, this isn't exactly my cup of tea, but it's cute-ish, so I get why people want to pick it up. Then boom! Turns out the mother came right out of a horror movie. I looked into a few interviews with the author, and it seemed like she got the idea for the book when she had her child, and thought about all the ways that she wanted to protect her from everything horrible in the world. I understand the feeling, it's completely valid, but only up to a certain extent. Like, seriously, in the book, Maddy has grown up with no friends, no classmates, no playground adventures, no childhood experiences. Even if a kid was homeschooled, they would have experienced more than her. They'd at least be able to go to the park or the mall or something. Maddy was basically put into a glass cage, and not because her body demanded it, but because her mother did. Yes, I understand that her husband and son died, and that has to be insanely traumatic. But woman, you ruined your daughter's life because you couldn't deal with your grief. Like, you had to know this day would come. Were you planning on keeping her indoors until you died? Then what? Your daughter is going to be alone in a glass house till the end of her life. That sounds reasonable. Every parent's dream, right? And what's worse is that the doctor said Maddy has an immune system of an infant because of the glass house days. Most people her age would have already built up a strong immune system, but she hasn't. So anytime she does get sick like normal, it could be fatal. Great job, Mom! If it weren't for the mother that never really got to face up to the consequences of being completely neurotic, this movie/book wouldn't be that bad. But the fact that the mother just went to therapy didn't seem like a good enough resolution. And Maddy was way too chill about the entire thing. Her whole world should be crumbling apart, but she just runs off to find her boy toy. So I guess we're not gonna talk about the crazy misery mother you had. Okay, cool. Nothing against the actors or anything in this movie, but it was just so no. Like, there were cutish moments, and hey, a black girl is holding the lead in a romantic role. Yay! But this story was murdered by its twist, so that's gonna be a no for me. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you could be a doll and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and ring that bell, I'll be sure to not lock you in a glass house and tell you that you have a crushing disease that requires scrubs, filters, and a bunch of other medical things. Your choice.